We'd like to welcome onto the show Tony Parker here on ESPN San Antonio's The Blitz. Tony, welcome aboard with Jason and Rob. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me.
We are fantastic. We were actually just talking about the upcoming draft, Tony, and, for years and years and years, about 20 of them, draft night was just another night because the Spurs were picking so late. You weren't looking at a player that could come in and have an immediate impact. This year's draft for Spurs fans, we don't really know what to do. You're at number 11. What do you want to see the San Antonio Spurs do?
I don't know. It's very hard to know what they're going to do. We knew that day was going to come when they have to rebuild, and not making the playoff this year is going to be a big decision, for RC and Pop. And I trust them to figure it out and make sure that we're competitive pretty soon, and we make the playoffs pretty soon.
I'm sure you recognize the voice. That is Tony Parker joining us here on The Blitz. Got a new book coming out. The author, Tony Parker, Beyond All My Dreams, coming through Triumph Books, going to be available tomorrow. Now, Tony, you're awfully young to be writing an autobiography. What spurred the desire to kind of open up and tell us your story so soon?
I totally agree with you. It started in France. They wanted to do a book, and I thought it was a good idea to inspire, the new generation and inspire the kids in France and share my story. And the book did very well in France. And so a company in the U.S. approached us to do a translation. And I was like, you know what? It'd be a good idea with all my San Antonio people and all around the U.S. who followed the Spurs for the last 20 years. Just wanted to share my story and translating the book that I did in France.
Tony Parker with us here on ESPN San Antonio. The book, Beyond All of My Dreams, and it did kind of start on a draft night many, many years ago. As you were going through the process of writing your book and trying to recall all the memories, get all the facts right, was there one or two instances that you thought, yeah, I remember that. That one was pretty cool that I'd kind of forgotten about?
No, I remember everything. I have a pretty good memory, and it was pretty nice to just take the time to reflect. I've been very blessed the last 20 years to be with San Antonio and with the Spurs. When I first got drafted, it was very scary. I had no idea where I was going. I was like, man, Texas, San Antonio, growing up in France, you have no idea, where you're going. And I was so lucky, and I had no idea at the time that I was in a great city who loved the Spurs, and we have the best fans, in the NBA, and it was just a perfect match for me to be, with Coach Pop, who's very competitive, and Timmy and Manu. It's funny because when you think about all of our backgrounds and to come together and to experience the last 20 years, we were very blessed.
Absolutely, as were we to be able to watch what you guys offered us here in San Antonio. The book is Beyond All My Dreams. Tony Parker has the book out, translated from French. And I find it very interesting, you inspiring the French kids as they are coming up. And you were really the first, you and Boris and a couple others were really the early bringings of the French basketball programs. And when I think of you first arriving, I think of this kid that was, coming from Paris basket racing and how quickly the game came to you. Why did it come so easily to you?
Well, we have to put it in perspective. 20 years ago, it was not a lot of Europeans, in the league.
None.
It was no European point guard. Now it's normal to have a European get drafted. Back then, it was a huge deal to be drafted in the first round. And so I always took a lot of pride to be a great ambassador, for my country and try to grow basketball in France. And with Pau and Dirk and Vlade Divac and Peja Stojakovic, we were like all the Europeans that started to really have success. If you think about the 90s with Drazen Petrovic and then us, early 2000, now it's pretty nice to see like 10 or 12 French guys, in the NBA, being the European country the most represented, and having GMs and owners taking chances on guys to be their franchise guy like Luka Doncic and Giannis. To see their evolution in the last 20 years, it's nice to be at the beginning and be part of it.
Tony, as you think about where you were and where you are now, do you act kind of the ambassador for a lot of the European players that are coming over? Do they reach out to you and seek your advice and counsel on how to adjust to the NBA game and living and playing in America?
Yeah, for sure. I always talk to all the new guys coming in, in the league, all the French guys when they first come in. Always welcome them, and over the years we had a lot of great guys, and they're playing very well in the NBA, and I'm very happy to watch that. You talk about the draft, coming up, and we have 2 French guys who should be in the top 20, and French basketball is in a great place. And you have one of them, Theo Maledon, that I know since he's 12 years old. He came to my basketball camps, and now he's going to be drafted, in the first round. So it's pretty cool to watch the evolution in France.
Do you feel old enough to have this happen? To have somebody that you knew when they were 12 getting ready to come into the league? Man, welcome to the party, by the way.
I have white hair now, white beard. It's happened. It goes fast.
Oh, man, I thought that was a fashion statement. I thought you were just doing that to look good. It hadn't worked for me, but it had for you. That's Tony.
I take nothing for granted, man. I take nothing for granted. You got to enjoy life, especially in the tough times that we're living right now. Got to stay positive and enjoy life.
Tony, I have one question for you. I want to go back to the origins of the teardrop. And when I think of what Tony Parker was to the NBA and what you were to us as San Antonio Spurs fans, certainly you were the straw that stirred the drink. You made the Spurs what they were as your leadership at point guard was. But your effect on the NBA, what is going to last, is in debate. I will stand by. Dude, I believe you to be the originator of the teardrop. I do. Now, others did it before, but nobody did it like you. When you invent a shot, when you come up with something new, obviously you were a kid in the trees and trying to get the ball over big guys, but how did you master that? And was it because you were coming from France and didn't have any other things to kind of go by in the schoolyard? You just had to make it up on your own, that this came into fruition and you literally changed the league in the way point guards play with the teardrop shot.
Man, I can't add anything. You said everything. You said it all. You said it perfectly.
Checks in the mail, man.
Yeah, you said everything. It's perfect.
Well, reflecting on that, dude, you changed the game. And as you see that, people try it, and it's a lot of times I think it's too difficult for some of these guards to get. It's a shot that you're like, that's a TP shot. You got to earn those stripes before you start throwing that in. But once it works, it certainly has been effective. You need to put together a clinic.
They like it to do it off one leg, and I was the first one to do it off 2 legs to keep the balance. And like you said, because I was small and had to find a way, to score and be effective. I don't know. I just liked it. It was just a preference for me to do it off 2 legs.
Well, off of 2 legs, but I mean, you perfect that, but also the fall. I mean, as many times as you hit the ground and never got hurt. I mean, there's an art to that too, isn't there?
For sure. Pop always joked with me on film that, like, why do you have to fall down? I was like, I don't do it on purpose. It's not to get hurt. That's why I fall. And so
Tony,
use that at my advantage.
You certainly did. You certainly take us on a journey through your basketball career. Where does your brand new book, Beyond All of My Dreams, take you in your personal life? What are you going to tell us about your life that we didn't know?
Oh, I went very, very personal, and I'll let you discover it on the book. I think when you start thinking about the memories, and you have to open up, and explain to people what I was feeling and how I grew up and why I was thinking like that. So we went pretty deep.
That's called a pro tease right there. It's there.
Yes, it is.
But you got to go buy the book, and you got to get it. That is very well done. Now, Tony, I know. Are you still in San Antonio most of the time?
Yeah. I'm in San Antonio right now.
You're in San Antonio right now.
Enjoying the weather. It's beautiful.
We see you working out a lot in your home gym. Anybody that follows you on any of the socials, hanging out with the kids and, out at the pool. But, I see Manu and Tim are going on all these marathon bike rides. Have you not joined the group on these ridiculous long bike rides?
So I got the invite, but I don't know. I'd rather do other sports. I played tennis 2 days ago with Manu and enjoyed a nice game. And I told Timmy, let's stick to the dinner. I don't know about the bike rides that you're doing.
Well,
why is that?
No.
Why don't you want to ride a bike, man?
I don't know. It's just I like my 4-wheelers, and I don't know. I like enjoying all the beauty of the Texas nature. I just do it differently.
Absolutely.
Without sweating.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to go on those bike rides. And, I can only imagine people that pass Tim and Manu on their cars and they see those two dudes on a bike going, man, the kind of crazy.
And they took it very seriously. Huh? They got the professional shoes. They got it all professional. I'm like, wow. I was like,
they're not wearing those tight biker shorts, are they?
For you at the Tour de France. That's what I told them.
Are they wearing the biker shorts? Are they wearing those real tight biker shorts? Because no one needs to see that.
Yeah. Did you not see the pictures? You should check it out.
No, see, I just look. I don't want to see. I don't even. It doesn't register with me. I don't want to see
that. Can you describe the bond that you, Tim, Manu, and Pop have?
It's very hard to put words. That's something that I will cherish my whole life, and that's something that is hard to create. It happens or it doesn't happen. You can't fabricate that, and especially like one coming from the islands, one coming from Argentina, me from France, and Coach Pop, the way he grew up, it's crazy the way we bonded and how special we made those 20 years.
And again, you think about, even Tim last year coaching for a year as an assistant to Pop. I'm sure you weren't surprised.
That's to tell you how strong the bond is, because I don't know what Pop told Timmy to convince him to do that.
True. So well, but I know you probably weren't surprised that Tim isn't coming back for year 2. So I'm curious, when is it going to be your turn on the bench with Greg Popovich?
No. He's not saying that you can buy me the most expensive bottle of red wine. I will not do it.
What about? Well, depends on when you get it. Maybe if you get it early before game, you might be talked into it that night. Tony Parker joining us here on the Blitz. Brand new book coming out, Beyond All of My Dreams. It'll be available tomorrow. Triumph Books is releasing it. I'm seeing it on its website right now. As it was announced last week, Tony, that the Fast Break and Fiesta jerseys are going to be available for those Saturday night games. Have you had a look at them, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw them, and I love it. Made me think about my rookie year when we played at the Dome. I love those colors, and I thought it was a great idea, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be popular.
Tony Parker right here. It was a pleasure catching up with you, man. The great thing about Tony Parker is he is part of San Antonio to this day, part of our hearts as well. One of the big 3. The book, Beyond All Dreams. Check it out tomorrow. Tony Parker, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, guys. Take care.
Tony Parker right here on ESPN San Antonio. Yeah, that was the first for me, man. Now, there's a lot of personal stuff in the book. Obviously, he's teasing forward, and it's going to be an interesting read.
You know what? I mean, we've known that I was going to say that kid. We've known Tony since he was a kid, and we all have kind of gone through the personal ups and downs of Tony Parker. And, it's kind of like having a friend over at Thanksgiving. You know stuff because you follow him on Facebook, but you don't necessarily bring it up at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Tony Parker right here on ESPN San Antonio. Got the book coming out, Beyond All Dreams. We'll have it on in our audio vault post haste. If you ever missed anything from ESPN San Antonio's The Blitz, you can go to ESPNSA.com, our AA Best Bellman's audio vault. It is available there. It's a way for you to continue to catch up.